Let me tell you a story. Once there lived a race of giants in Southeast Asia. They had a king named Kun Chung. This king constructed huge jars throughout his homeland. Wondering why? According to the story, these giant jars were constructed to brew rice wine to celebrate the victory over the giant's enemies. Don't believe me? Well, in this video of Amaxiom, the amazing world, we are going to explore this very place, the mysterious Plain of Jars of Laos. So stay tuned. The story I mentioned before is just one of the many stories and local legends associated with the Plain of Jars and its origin. We will dive deeper into its legend in a while. But before that, let's get to know the place better. Located in central Laos of Shangkwang Plateau, this archaeological landscape has its unique name due to its unusual features. A land with more than 2,100 giant prehistoric stone jars believed to have been used for funerary practices in the Iron Age, which is still not confirmed. Even though previously the jars were dated generally to the Iron Age between 500 BCE and 500 CE, according to a new study done by researchers based on carbon dating, these giant jars even predate the Iron Age, anywhere from 1240 to 660 BCE. On examining the jars, we can find that they were crafted with iron tools. Beads and bronze objects foreign to the area were also found. This proves that the people who constructed these jars were from a wealthy society. If you are planning to visit Plain of Jars, you can either fly there from Luang Prabang in Laos or travel by road, which will be a day-long drive of around 250 kilometers. The gateway to the Plain of Jars is the state capital of Jiangquang, Phon Savan. In the 1930s, the French archaeologist named Madeleine Colani was the first to research the Plain of Jars. Nearby a cave with burned bones and ash, she found many jars. And in those jars were cremated human remains. Just imagine coming across these jars with skeletons. What would you do? I would perhaps run. Since I'm not an archaeologist, well, on seeing these jars with dead remains, Madeleine Colani speculated that the cave was a crematorium, the jars were mortuary vessels, and the fields were ancient cemeteries. Fast forward to the 1960s and 1970s during the Vietnam War, the Plain of Jars was heavily bombed. All those involved in the war found the site to be situated in a highly strategic location, and unfortunately for that reason, the Plain of Jars has been called the world's most dangerous archaeological site. The place is still shrouded in mystery for two reasons. The first is definitely due to the danger of bombs, as mentioned before. The second is the extreme remoteness of the site. Perhaps the mystery is what makes the Plain of Jars so compelling and fascinating. There are several theories about the purpose of the Plain of Jars, with no definitive answer yet. So let's check some of the prominent ones. Mortuary vessels. This theory suggests the jars were used to hold cremated remains. Evidence supporting this includes human bone fragments were found inside some jars, burial mounds were discovered near some jar sites, the presence of secondary burials where remains are moved after decomposition. Storage containers. This theory proposes the jars were used to store food, water, or other valuable items. The large size and durable material of the jars would make them suitable for long-term storage. However, the lack of evidence for lids or consistent opening mechanisms weakens this theory slightly. Ritualistic significance. This theory suggests the jars played a role in religious ceremonies or rituals. The specific purpose remains unclear, but possibilities include offerings to ancestors, fertility rituals, or symbolic representations. The lack of everyday objects found near the jars makes this theory a bit less likely for their primary purpose. Salt production. Some speculate the jars might have been used in salt production, though there isn't much evidence to support this. Water collection. Another theory proposes they were used to collect and store rainwater, especially in a region with seasonal variations. The lack of written records from the time period makes it difficult to definitively determine the jar's purpose. Ongoing archaeological research may uncover further evidence to shed light on their true function. The Plain of Jars remains an archaeological puzzle, with the various theories adding to its historical intrigue. Just imagine if these jars were some kind of portals for time travel. What one thing would you send to the future or past? Do let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to learn about all the amazing things in this world and beyond. See you in the next video. Until then, stay amazed, stay blessed.